What is going on, y'all? Welcome to the Joel Friday TV podcast. I am Joel Friday. Bienvenido. Welcome to the show. Amazing stuff. It's Tuesday. How y'all doing? Do me a favor, hit that like button, smack it, lay the smack down on like, subscribe, and share button. Tell your peoples about the show so we get the subscribers up and the message out. Do it now. You got time. Amazing stuff. Topics to be covered. We talking about Diddy. We getting into it. And I got some interesting things to bring to your guys' attention. Some clips, stuff like that. And I think it'll be an interesting show. So we're getting into that. It is a talk show. So keep in mind that you can call in at any point, 888-775-3773, 888-775-3773, and we could talk about whatever's on your mind. If you cannot call in for whatever reason, but you still have a question or comment, you can go to buymeacoffee.com/JoelFridayTV and send your question or comment there. The link is in the description. Or if you just want to support the show, you can send a donation. Or you can go directly to YouTube in the live chat by hitting the super chat button and sending your question or comment or donation there as well. And I'll read them live on air. Amazing stuff. So you do have that option. I do want to kick off a super chat that I didn't get to read yesterday or maybe a couple of days ago because I didn't see it. But I'm going to read that really quick first. How you guys doing, chat? How's it going, chat? Shout out to the Mod Squad holding it down in the chat. Mod Squad, shout out. Shout out to my mods holding it down. Hake, Nick, Seasal, Chris, Zenny. In the chat holding it down. Amazing stuff. Nice. So let me get to this is from Alex and he bought 5 donuts. Ooh. Nice. Thank you, Alex. He says Kanye isn't entirely wrong about fearing God, although his understanding seems misguided. Whatever one fears, one worships and is made a slave to. Money, power, mothers, men, women, reputation, hate, blah, blah, blah. If it could be named, it can be feared. Why not fear the most awesome force one can possibly conceive of? What else in existence would there be left to fear? Still, God does not want to make you a slave. God sets his children free. Exactly. I was going to make that exact point, is that fear that the Bible talks about, and we kind of touched on it a little bit a couple episodes ago, that fear that the Bible talks about is not the fear that human beings think is fear. Fear is not afraid. You're not supposed to be afraid to do wrong. You're not supposed to be afraid of God. You just walk in reverence and respect because you know that he has the authority over you and he is the one who directs your path and he's the one that guides you. So there's a reverence in also knowing that at any moment he's also the corrector. You know what I mean? And there's just a respect that comes from that. Just like you would respect your earthly father as a child. Right? Just a trust in things you know nothing about, but knowing that he's going to guide you in the right way. So it's just a reverence. But yeah, I don't think Kanye is off either. I think that he's not wrong to question things. So thank you, Alex. I appreciate it. Right on. Great input and great explanation. The way you explained that was very clear. So I appreciate that, Alex. Amazing stuff. And Hake sent a super chat yesterday, and I forgot what he said, but I was laughing. We were laughing afterwards about it. Maybe he'll write it in the message board. But good stuff. Let's get into meat and potatoes. Let's get into the meat and potatoes. Because as we all know, Diddy is up in the news, y'all. Diddy is in the news, and some of you guys know that his house was raided, right? So we could play. I'm gonna play some B-roll of that. Let me see if I can do half and half of me and it won't let me. Um, yeah, his let's see. I'm pressing stuff. I probably shouldn't be. Let me see if I can do it. Nice. So yeah, that's his house being raided right there. And I'll play it again once it stops. But as you know, the federal agents have just kind of came in and just was like, we gon' deal with this right now. You ain't getting away with this stuff, buddy. Oh shoot, it's doing that little thing. But anyway, so according to Fox News, Sean Diddy Combs' Los Angeles and Miami home was raided by federal agents under an investigation for human trafficking. Right? So they're talking about human trafficking, and other sources say other things, but we don't know what is true or nothing yet, right? It's under investigation. So we need not to jump to conclusions, need not to make your mind up, for those on the outside, right? And let the court do what the court does, right? And let it just be what it is. And at the end of the day, mind your business, you know? As far as like judgment goes. You know what I mean? But according to Wikipedia, for those who don't know who P. Diddy is, most of us do. He's a rapper, producer, executive, and entrepreneur. He's known for, according to Wikipedia, the one who has like helped people like Biggie Smalls, Mary J. Blige, Danity Kane, which is a girl group, popular girl group, Usher, Cassie, J Lo, and all the well-known, a lot of well-known people. There's a long list of people that he's helped move along in the business of entertainment. So he's very popular, very well known in the industry, and also very well known as a celebrity. And the question is Diddy innocent or guilty? Right? That's the question. Is Diddy innocent or guilty? That's everyone's question. We don't know yet, right? But one thing I will tell you is that the victims, his accusers, aren't innocent. I'm going to tell you that. His accusers aren't innocent. And I have some clips that I'm going to play. I want to show you guys, and you guys can, and we'll get into it. And you guys can make up your mind on these accusers. Because a lot of times these accusers aren't telling the full truth. You know, remember that whole Me Too movement? That was a huge thing. And we were also finding out that these accusers aren't telling the full story. And they made themselves out to be victims. The media made them out to be victims. And it just more so, not that what they were saying, not to discredit what people are saying, right? Because you don't know what they've dealt with, or their lifestyle, or what they had to go through, whether they did or not. But the way it was framed and the way the media portrayed it, it was very much bash the victimizer. And that's the part that turns me off. So we're going to get into some stuff involving that. This is from NBC News. NBC host interviews a longtime friend of one of Diddy's accusers. This is from NBC News. Let's get to that. And I'm going to pause and go so that way we can kind of like break down the video. I think it's like a 3-minute video. So we'll pause and go and kind of break down from there. Let's see.
Music mogul and rapper Sean Diddy Combs has faced 4 different lawsuits in recent weeks alleging sexual assault and abuse, all of which he has denied. The first of those came from singer Cassie Ventura, known as Cassie, who accused Combs of sexual abuse and sex trafficking during the decade they were together. NBC's entertainment correspondent Chloe Malas spoke exclusively to a longtime friend of Cassie's who said she witnessed some troubling incidents. Chloe?
Good evening, Ellison. Singer-songwriter, activist Tiffany Red had been working with Cassie.
Pause real quick. Quick red flag that I want to point out to you guys. She said singer-songwriter activist. The activist thing, to me, is a red flag. Just be a norm, be regular, but the activist part, and as we all know from the past, the activist side of people, there's an agenda. And not all, but activist is a red flag. So let's keep going.
On an album when she first met Diddy and says that she witnessed him verbally abusing her friend.
Second red flag, she witnessed him verbally abusing her friend. Verbally, right? Just with words. Verbally, everybody verbally abused everybody every day. But anyway, let's keep going.
Cassie's settlement with Diddy, Red penned an open letter in Rolling Stone about her experience. She spoke to me about the events that she says traumatized her.
I don't think people understand what it's like to be traumatized by somebody famous and rich, because you can't get away from them.
Tiffany Red has written for the likes of Zendaya, Jason Derulo, and Jennifer Hudson. In 2015, she became friends with Cassie while writing songs for her album. At that point, Cassie and Diddy had been together for nearly 8 years. In a lawsuit Cassie filed last month, she detailed the abuse she says Diddy committed, including physical assault. Red says although she did not know about the alleged physical assault while working with Cassie, she did witness verbal abuse on more than one occasion. One of which took place during Cassie's 29th birthday in 2015. Red says Diddy showed up at karaoke, where Cassie and a group of friends were celebrating.
So he had her backed into the corner, and he was like cussing her out with his hand in her face.
Later that night, Red, who was staying at Cassie's home, says she awoke to screaming.
He's standing in the living room area, and she's there, and he was like, emotional singing, bitch. There you are. And I just was like, oh, he's talking to me. And I remember, I don't know if you know what his voice sounds like, but I felt like I was in the presence of his monster inside. And I remember
Okay, pause real quick. We got to talk about the presence of his monster inside. We got to talk about that real quick. And then we're going to get back to the clip. It's I understand what she's saying, and I don't deny those type of traumas that come from watching somebody be angry and overreact. I had that growing up with a family member, to where I woke up in the middle of the night one time to a family member overreacting and dishes being thrown. And as a child, I think I was 4 or 5, that traumatized, it didn't traumatize me. That's the wrong word. But it affected me to where I started to view that person as a monster, right? As a bad person. But I was 4 or 5, so I didn't really understand anger and all that thing. So I understand that, and I understand what she's saying. But as an adult, a grown person, you don't get to still use that. He's a monster. Because as an adult, if you feel that way, something wrong with you. Right? And you have no right at that point to try to say that this artist saying that he is a bad person because he verbal abused me. She says she didn't witness anything. She just witnessed him verbally abusing, and it was monstrous. This is why you can't trust people who speak like this. And not to discredit anybody, even though she's not even an accuser. So she's not even a part of, she shouldn't even been interviewed, in my opinion, because she's not credible. She said she's talking about verbal abuse. She only witnessed verbal abuse. That shouldn't even be considered. As a matter of fact, this should be a criminal offense to be able to go on mainstream media and accuse somebody of something based off of verbal abuse. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm not saying that Diddy is innocent at all. I don't know what happened, but I'm just want to point out like both sides of the coin here, starting with what we know from this interview. So anyway, let's go back to
like looking in his eyes, and I said to him, "What did y'all do?" Because I could see that she was like really sedated. That was the first time I ever seen her like high before. And then he says, "Tell your girl she wants some birthday." And we were like, well, I mean, he's saying this to me, and I'm like, well, she doesn't have to have sex with you if she doesn't want to. He was upset, like, you know, I guess that she didn't want to do with him whatever he wanted. I don't know.
real quick. We'll get back. Again, Cassie, the girl that she's telling the story about, allegedly, according to her, at that time was at the party and she's under the influence, under drugs, right? And she's talking about her friend being under drugs, and her friend, which is the accuser, Cassie, didn't want to sleep with Diddy. And this lady with the red hair is telling the media, the interviewer, that he's wrong, but not one time does she point out the fact that why is her friend Cassie under the influence? She wasn't force-fed the drugs, right? That we know of. But she didn't say nothing about that, about her friend being on drugs, about them being wherever they are. They didn't point out that part, right? They just point out that he's the demon and Cassie, under the influence, in a relationship with Diddy at the time, is the victim. So anyway, going back.
I don't feel like I could advocate for myself in that moment. Like, I realized, like, oh, this guy is dangerous.
Red says it was only a few months ago that Cassie told her what was really going on that night in 2015, that it all stemmed from the music executive wanting her to take part in what he called a freak-off against her will.
What did Cassie tell you about these freak-offs?
You know, that he
A freak-off. I'm dying at freak-off for one.
would hire these, like, sex workers, and, like, they would have, you know, sex with her or whatever, and he would watch and tell them what to do.
In her lawsuit,
He would watch and tell her what to do. And apparently, and I'm just saying this is not a part of what they're saying. Apparently, she was controlled by, I don't know, a remote to make her do these things. Because why was she there? Why would she do them? Why would she do these sexual things with other people in front of him? Why would she do it if it was such a problem? If it was such a crime? If it was so bad? And maybe she felt in that moment that it was bad, but it's not his fault that you go along with it. And the friend is there too. I don't know if the friend was there at that specific party, but she was around and nothing was being said.
Cassie alleges she was forced to participate in freak-offs throughout her relationship with Diddy.
Forced to participate in freak-offs. She was forced.
Red learning recently one horrific detail from Cassie.
She told me the only time he was willing to do anything or work on her music, go through any plans, any of that, was when she had a freak off. So all of our music, all my work, to find out that, like, I spent all these years writing these songs for him to rape my friend to.
Rape!
Like, is just disgusting.
Okay, we got to end right there. We got to end it right there. Because she said rape. She said rape. And do you see how evil? Do you see how evil that is right there? And these are the people that we're supposed to stand behind and believe when it comes to the livelihood of Diddy and all these other people. She's using these evil words like rape when all she witnessed was verbal abuse and a word of mouth from her friend, right? And that's okay to believe your friend, right? If you believe your friend's been through certain things that aren't good. But why aren't we being honest? The rape, she was forced to sleep with these other people. She was not forced and she was not raped. And if that was to happen, she was forced by a gunpoint, because, you know, sometimes you may be in those situations. Why didn't you say something then? Why didn't you say something then? That's my thing. Speak up at the time. And you're a grown adult. You don't have to put yourself through this. But you know what it is? The reason is because they're getting something out of it. And nobody wants to talk about that. And shame on the mainstream media for not speaking up about that and being honest. Right? And not being honest about that, because the mainstream media oftentimes wants to spin things for the drama. Right? But she wanted something. Cassie, one of the accusers, wanted something from him. In my opinion, wanted something from him. So she stayed and she stuck around because he has the keys, quote unquote, the power to advance careers, to make or break somebody's lifestyle. So she wanted that, in my opinion. Or else, why do you have to stay? You know, especially in the time we live in today, especially in United States, you don't have to deal with that abuse. It'll be dealt with right away by the authorities or mainstream media or whatever. So nobody's really like stuck. So that's not an excuse. Maybe in some other countries it might be harder to let the truth come to light, but no. She didn't want it to come to light because she was benefiting from it at the time. Whether she thought that was the only way or whatever it was, but she still has to take responsibility for being an adult and putting herself in those situations. And Diddy is not at fault solely just for whatever may or may not have happened. So I thought that part was interesting. I do have another clip I want to show you guys, but what are you guys saying here in the chat? Dane the pastor. I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad because it's unfortunate that people have to deal with these situations. And people and I know people are caught up in the wrong thing and make the wrong decisions or whatever. And it's unfortunate because it does have this effect, false effect, because if we didn't harp on it and if we didn't judge it so harshly, we can get over it quickly, right away. And if we can forgive and understand what's really going on, it doesn't have to have this traumatic effect that lasts a lifetime, right? But it's still unfortunate that people have to go through these things, but I can't feel bad when grown adults don't do anything about it. And then they wait years and years and years and years and years to complain about it. And they want to get in the media and smear the person. Jose says, Joel probably has choreography to Cassie's song, Me and You. That's a good song. Me and you right now. I've been waiting. Think I'm going to make a move right now. Baby, tell me if you like it. That's a bop. It's a banger. The media isn't honest, Joel. I know. The Eagle believed they were using songs I wrote. It's so crazy that that lady can go up on there and say those things. And she wasn't even around. She didn't witness anything other than verbal abuse. And she can go up on there on MSNBC News or whatever, NBC News, and talk as if she knows something, and she don't know nothing other than the word of her friend Cassie, which she should be the one talking if she's the quote unquote accuser, right? But how the friend can get on there, ain't seen nothing, but heard some verbal abuse and can get up there and we just believe them. That's crazy. That should be a criminal offense. Last point I want to make on this, and then I'll get to you guys' comments, questions, calls. There are lines open, 888-775-3773. I want to know what you guys think about this. Am I wrong in what I'm saying about this Me Too mindset of accusers, but only being accusatory opposed to being logical and honest? You know what I mean? Because I could be wrong on some details. I could be wrong on some of the things I'm saying too. So you guys can let me know what you think. But I want to say this one last thing. Is I find it so funny and interesting that people fail to acknowledge. Now, let's just say Diddy is, and I'm not saying he is. I got to make that clear because I don't know. But let's just say Diddy is found guilty for all these things, right? Let's just say. Okay, well, you can be honest about your situation. You could be honest about what you've been through. But don't forget this part. What about what he's done for you in your life, in your career? What about how he's changed the life for you so you can change your life for your family? Right? Regardless of his sins, his demons, his secrets, whatever. What about what he's done for you? Why can't you acknowledge that? Why can't you just be grateful? And you can still speak your piece about your stuff or whatever if you feel like, I still don't think it should be in the mainstream media like that. You deal with it how you deal with it, but it don't need to be globalized on the internet and all this stuff. That's all like attention seeking. Right? If he's guilty, then you should fight it in court if you feel like you need to. At the time, and if he's involved in criminal activity, then you deal with it that way. But we don't gotta like put it on a main stage. But anyway, why not also on the other end be grateful and be honest, be a real human being and be like, look, yeah, I went through those things, but at the same time, I also am grateful for the fact that he put me in the right positions to advance my career. For me to be able to make this amount of money. For me to be able to do all these, for me to get to my goals and dreams and desires that, you know, that at the same time I knew I would have to make some sacrifices in order for me to reach those dreams that I'm not telling you guys about. But he still helped me get there. Or give me an opportunity. And I'll have a clip I want to show you guys of a girl from Danity Kane, the lead singer. This is from a podcast on YouTube. and she talks about what Diddy has done for her and how she feels about the situation. Let's go to that really quick.
That was a man that at one point I just like adored, looked up to. He made my dreams happen. You know, it's just somebody that like I just thought was all encompassing, like everybody saw him to be for so long. And I, a random girl in Palm Springs, a white girl from Palm Springs, ends up coming and being like this lead in his 5-member band that did become, you know, double platinum international, a girl group that is like, you know, I still believe in the Guinness Book of World Records, ever having back-to-back #1 albums. I mean, these things are not like cute little, like, I went million today on TikTok. These are real stats.
Right? Real stats. Like at one point, this person, because before all this was known about, she admired him. Like all the stuff behind the secret. And she has other videos where she talks about her situation and like what she had to deal with behind the scenes and like how yeah, she feels about the situation and it wasn't easy. Like she goes into, you know, she has her issues with it and she speaks on it. But before all that was even out, or before she seen what she seen, she had an admiration. But ain't it weird that that admiration has to come to a halt, or it changes as soon as you see something about somebody that you don't like? You know what I mean? Like, deal with it, but still don't forget. Don't forget. Because the reason why you turned in the first place on that person is because you had them on a pedestal in the first place. And you seen them as too important, or this celebrity or Jesus, like you made them your God. So then as soon as your God stopped feeding your feelings, then now you turned on your God. But that has nothing to do with them. That has everything to do with you. Has everything to do with you. And people forget that. And people don't want to talk about that. And people don't want to admit to that. And they're up here trying to fight evil with evil. They're evil against somebody else's evil. Somebody else's wrongdoing. Where's the love? Where is the love? So I just wanted to get to that. What are you guys talking about in the chat? Zenny, you're crazy, man. That's good. Maybe she... Wait a minute. Let me get to a call. Because the chats are going crazy. I can't. It's too many to read right now. Let me go to Gray out of Los Angeles. Gray, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
Yo, what's up, Joe? How are you?
How's it going, Gray?
Chilling, bro. Listening to the show. Just want to say you broke it down logically and objectively.
Nice.
And that's why I love this show, bro.
Appreciate it, man.
Yeah, you made a good point when you said that, Diddy did what he did, but Cassie, stands to benefit from it as well. And that's the reason she stuck around,
Right.
Yeah, and it also kind of reminds me of I don't know if you heard this case where there was this lady. There was like a road rage incident. She threw a water bottle at a guy, and the guy ended up like shooting at the car, killing her son.
Oh no, I never heard. I didn't hear about that.
This was a while back, but I remember like hearing it on the news, and the lady said, oh yeah, I flipped him off, I cut him off, and then I threw a water bottle at him, and then he shot at my car. And the first thing in my head is like, people don't want to hear the logical answer to these things, but in my head I was like, why are you doing all that? Like, why are you cutting people off? Why are you throwing water bottles? People are dangerous, and look, for your actions, your son died. But you're gonna go ahead and blame that guy for doing what he did.
Right. And this is you heard this from the news story, right?
Yeah.
Okay, I think I have to say this allegedly happened, folks, just in case somebody try to sue me.
Okay.
But yeah, see, that's the thing too, is that like it's unfortunate that the son had to, die from this situation, but like you said, she played a part. Why are you throwing water bottles? Why are you involved in that way? Why is your anger getting out of control like that to where you put yourself in this type of situation?
Yeah, I thought it was crazy because I'm like everybody I told this story to, they're like, oh my God, I hope they catch him. I was like, everyone's missing what I'm trying to tell them. It's like, it's like, and it's cool because with the Diddy thing, it's funny because just yesterday I sent you a message on Instagram with this topic. I was like, hey, you should cover this. I don't know if you're going to cover this or not, but I ended up sending you a message, and I did not see it the way you put it. Like, hey, these people are playing a part. And I was like, that's a bold stand, bro. Like, because people are gonna come after you for those type of stands,
Well, which one was it exactly?
No, what I'm saying is, yesterday I messaged you saying, hey, you should cover the Diddy topic, And it's funny that you're doing that today.
Oh,
but,
okay. I see.
Yeah. But I just think it's like I said, like you're taking the stand, and it's. Oh, my bad. Hold on. Yeah, you're taking a. Sorry, brother.
Yeah, you're good. I think Gray is big.
I'm sorry.
You good?
My phone. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, I was just saying, like, you're taking a bold stand because people are not going to see it that way. They're just going to point a finger at Diddy, say that he's the one that's wrong,
Right. And that's the thing, though, Gray, is that, like, I don't even feel like it's bold. I just feel like just showcasing I'm just showing the truth, because I can see that it's never two sides. I mean, there's always two sides to the story, but it's never reported that way. And I see that these women go on here and they just accuse. And yeah, it doesn't mean that what they're saying is like didn't happen, but it's like we're not entirely admitting the truth, and it's like a one-sided justice. So just like the person in the car that threw the water bottle, she sparked it. You know what I mean? Like, if this happened, like if this actually happened, if she threw this water bottle and she's doing all this swerving or whatever the case is, she was a part of it. She fed into it, and that's what ignited it. But the people, everybody else is gonna just look at the shooter who killed the son and demonize him. Meanwhile, her anger is still gonna be out of control, on the loose, and free in the streets to do it to somebody. You know what I mean? Somebody else.
The people are just so emotional. They're just gonna see the they need the bad guy. They just don't need to point a finger real quick. They don't understand.
Exactly.
It takes two to tango.
Exactly. 100%, Gray. Well, I appreciate it. Anything else you want to say?
No, that's all I got, bro.
I appreciate
Keep up the good work.
Thank you, man. Call me again.
All right, for sure.
All right. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff. Let me get to these super chats, and then I'll come back to the phones. Like, just be. I don't understand it. It's hatred, though. It's hatred and anger in people's hearts that want to just bring people down and bring people down. Um, and just remember, if somebody's demonizing you, it's because they first demonize themselves. If somebody hates you, it's because they first hate themselves. And that's why we can't judge them or even like be mad at them for hating us, because they're hating themselves. That's a broken person. And if they knew better, if they can see, they would do better. So that's why we're supposed to be an example by being pure in heart, by having that understanding that they're just, everything that they're doing and saying is a projection based off of how they feel about themselves. They have no peace, no love, no light. Linian Chin says, Prince O'Prance, see the screen behind you? Use it to demonstrate pre-recorded prance as you sit to the side. Using a pointing stick to help make your points as you explain the mechanisms of prance. Whatever. Now, I appreciate it, Linian Chin. I do know that I'm leaning, and it's making me off center. And it's not a good look. But thank you, Linian Chin. I appreciate it. Greenwall says, maybe with the donation, I'll buy me a little pointer. Greenwall says, half the story has never been told. Bob Marley. Right. What the? Two sides to every story. Kel Samogi. Amazing show, Joel. Thank you, Kel. I appreciate it. Right on. Let me check the other spots. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, it's just crazy stuff. Hicks says, I stand with EJ. What does EJ say? EJ, what you saying? Yeah, EJ, sometimes I hear you be getting a little out of control. What did EJ say? Hey, EJ, take your messages off all caps. Oh my gosh, EJ. EJ, keep it clean. And you're a lady. EJ, that's not ladylike. What the? And then EJ, come on. You got to represent the ladies. Come on. We got young ladies in the chat. Can't be talking crazy. And then you say that you want me to marry you. How am I going to marry you if you talking crazy? Come on, EJ. Let me go to Rick out of Hampton, Virginia. Rick, welcome to the show. You're on there, Rick.
My brother Joel, how's it going, my brother?
All is well. How are you?
I'm fine, man. Hey, what you think about Diddy? You think he's guilty, or you gonna have a wait to see attitude?
I have a wait to see attitude. I also don't, you just never know about the industry. I've been in the industry a little bit, not enough to really be involved in these type of things, but I do know what drives a lot of these people and what their interests are. So, but I also don't want to make any accusations about him, but I wouldn't put it past it either. So I just waiting and seeing what happening.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Joel.
No, go ahead. That was it.
The question I have, so do Hollywood believe in sex trafficking?
Well, there's a lot of crazy things. I look at it like this: is that Hollywood is known for being very sneaky and very exploitive. And the reason why I know is because all of entertainment, and not all, there's some directors and producers, I guess, who try to like be decent, but Hollywood whole algorithm, so to speak, is based off of what the desires of the people. So they make everything based off of the desires of the people, because what they want to do is they want to exploit the things that make you watch their films or be a part of their productions, because that's what sells. So they go after all the things that are wrong. Your emotions, your feelings, your fears, your happiness, you know what I mean, like sex
Right.
stuff. And what they do is they try to exploit it and suck the life out of it. And it doesn't matter what the age is. They start the kids from very young, and I've seen it happen from very young, and they just use them up, steal the life from them, turn them out, and make their money. So it's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the entertainment industry.
You know, for Diddy, the money he has, why would you even get involved in that? You don't even need to get involved in it. You got money.
Well, some of these people are making money from that. Their money came from that type of lifestyle. And, you know, they wouldn't have that money if it wasn't coming down to doing specific things behind the scenes. So that's why, you know, I wouldn't put it past anybody to be guilty of that, especially in the entertainment industry, especially the real popular ones, because then it makes you question, well, if Hollywood is this way, what did they do to get to the top? You know what I mean? So,
Right.
yeah, I don't think, I won't say he's innocent, but I won't say he's guilty either, but we'll just have to wait and see.
When I say, man, I have 100-something cops in each of your residents, they must got something on the way I look at it. I mean, I can see it was just like maybe a few police officers, but, man, when you got them surrounding your house, looking down the chimney, man, I'm like, man, he must got something.
And it's crazy because
I know it's P. Diddy, man. Like he been looking sickly. Like he ain't been looking at himself. You notice that?
You said what?
Like he been looking sickly.
Oh, I don't know.
Like
I haven't seen.
Because you look at an earlier picture of P. Diddy, he looked vibrant and energetic, but now he's sick or he's going through some stuff, man. You know. So
it was kind of like how Harvey Weinstein looked in the beginning, before all this stuff happened, and then after all this stuff started happening, like the life left his body. He looked sickly, old looking, like defeated. Yeah. And this stuff is.
Because this is, dude, P. Diddy just, it was something with T.D. Jakes, and T.D. Jakes had something going on. That was out in the time. That was starting to die down. Now, here, this one here rise up.
Yeah, allegedly. But, yeah, it's just, see, that's why, and also, you know, people, this is the take that I always like to come from, is that, like, always keep every single person at a distance. Always keep that space, because we should never even have an expectation of somebody being good or bad, because a lot of people think, well, Diddy was, you know, he did so many good things, quote unquote, then this is a catastrophe that he's going through this stuff. Well, we don't know what he was doing behind the scenes. Same with T.D. Jakes. It seems like he's a pastor and he's a preacher, and if he did any of these things, it still wouldn't surprise me either, because you just don't know. You don't know people.
Right.
And when you know human nature, and you know, as you learn yourself, you see that at any point you can be caught up in something that you shouldn't be. So I always just try to keep that space from everybody.
I got you, man, because you don't know what people does behind closed doors, what's in their hearts.
Exactly.
And it's crazy. I'm with you on that, Joel. I mean, it's like, man, you don't know who to, like someone babysit your kids. You can't even trust your own family members now, man. Like, people are just sick, man.
Yeah. Yeah, and they'll turn. Yeah, it's a crazy thing, Rick. Have you been seeing what's been going on? Have you heard anything more past the raid?
No, I haven't heard nothing yet. I heard Diddy got his lawyer now.
Oh, okay.
And man, that's all I heard. I haven't even heard the charges they put on him, if they did.
Right.
I haven't heard that, but I know, like I'm saying, how about 50 officers at each residence?
I know.
Going through it like they're looking for gold.
And they arrested his kids too.
Yeah, a lot of people don't understand that. Why they have to handcuff his kid? That's for security reasons.
Right.
Whenever you arresting somebody, so if you bust in a drug house, everybody getting locked
arrested.
out.
Yeah.
Until we secure the house.
Exactly.
Because man, you can have somebody come out there and blow your brains out, and it's your fault because that's the first thing we're supposed to do. It's all about security. That's why everybody gets handcuffed.
Yeah.
I did corrections, man. A lot of people don't understand that. Even if you got children can kill you.
You're right.
You have to secure everybody. All that was in the house. Hey, look, we just conducting business. We're just gonna handcuff y'all for our safety.
Exactly. You gotta
that's just the way that is.
You're right, and it ain't racist. It ain't racist, or it ain't nothing. Exactly.
I mean, just business. I mean, once we raid in the house, man, we don't know who got a gun on them. Even though they pat them down anyway, but we handcuff them for our safety. That's just it.
Right.
Nothing racist. We ain't inhumane. It's just safety. And one more thing, Joel. Shoot, what do you think about the Baltimore, these black males running, man? It's time for blacks to start firing these doggone ineffective politicians, man.
You said who?
And stop letting Baltimore. You heard what's going on in Baltimore?
No, I didn't hear.
Man, heard that it's so bad in Baltimore they got houses going only for $1. High crime and everything.
Wow. So the crime's going up in Baltimore.
Yeah. And as always, the mayor he blocked.
Yeah. He allowing it. I have to look into it.
Yeah, man. It's rough, man. I mean, Baltimore used to be a beautiful city, man, until once. So it's like Atlanta. You remember when Andrew Young ran Atlanta? How nice Atlanta looked when he was running it?
I think Hake was talking about this, but go ahead.
Yeah, and Hake was. Yeah, he was talking about it. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And, then you look at Richard Arrington of Birmingham. He did a good job. Coleman Young in Detroit. But man, after them guys left, Harold Washington did a great job. But after them bears left,
yeah,
man,
it's a mess.
As we say, it went to hell in a handbasket, man.
It's a mess, and it's unfortunate. It's a mess all around the United States, and
yeah.
And if the more we, don't overcome, the worse it's gonna get. I'm out of time though, Rick.
Okay,
I have to end the show.
Thanks for taking my call. Love you, man. Y'all God bless y'all. Continue spreading the good word, my man.
Appreciate it, Rick. Thank you. Call me again, man. I'm looking at time, and I can't really. It's hard to, at the end there, to focus on what Rick was really fully saying, because there's so many things. But I want to say this last thing, and then I got to end, because I got to end like right now. Is be careful when you try to bring somebody down, because you're not exempt from the skeletons in your closet. So you try to bring a man down, then your time will come. And that's not what it's about. We should be able to deal with our stuff. Now, if you're being imposed upon and somebody's doing something against you, then you should deal with it legally. But you should still even do that in quiet. You still shouldn't make a spectacle out of that. But don't be attacking people, because you will be attacked, especially if it's you're overdoing it. Nobody should be trying to tear anybody down. It should be about justice. It shouldn't be about tearing people down. Because even if this stuff did happen, or you were a victim of whatever that happened, you still don't tear the person down. Anybody trying to tear down is an angry person that has anger in their heart, and they're looking for revenge, and that's not good. So you deal with it properly, but be careful, because don't forget, you got skeletons too. You got things that you don't want people to know about, so don't be trying to expose other people, because you will be exposed. So I got to end. American Anger Baby's coming in for a great show. So make sure you guys tune in. As far as the Baltimore stuff, check Hake Report. He was talking about that earlier. So listen to Hake Report. I got to go, y'all. Thank you for listening to me talk for an hour. See you guys tomorrow for my last day of the week. Bye.